Actually glad that I learned about Russell School. Like, I'm glad that I'm here and I can see it myself instead of hearing from a story, because I can see like the uses. I can tell that people have been in here and it's not like a fake like thing, but I can tell like it's people's been in here, lived in here, had fun in here and everything. So I'm glad that I found out about it.
So what we work with the church, of course. We work at Cain's Missionary a lot, and they are really supportive of this building and this church, which is really great. We work with the community, and we have tours here. We have movies on the lawn here. We do a lot of engagement in the area to bring recognition to the space. So one of the things that we work with is the Historical Society, which is in North Carolina and in Durham, just so that we can get that recognition out. So we try to do a lot of outreach so that people are aware that the space is here. And it's very fortunate that the church is very supportive of that. Well, that's one thing about having the tours and bringing groups here. Like I said, we've had some groups from Duke come here, and just the college students seeing this, seeing it for themselves. It's something about seeing the space in person. You can look at it in a book and look at it on the internet, and you can hear the stories. But when you walk in the door, even now, just when I come in here to do this, just walking in the space, it's almost like you have to have that hush moment, of okay, this is a space that I really need to revere. And I think the more young people see it, and then they take those stories back, and then they grow on that. And you talk about learning about, Black history. And we learn the big stories. I always tell my son, we always learn the popular stories about Black history, but I'm adamant that you have to learn the little ones as well. And so when I said I was shocked when I came here, because I didn't realize I lived 5 minutes from this building. And I've lived 5 minutes from this building 40 years. And so I walked down and said, I've driven past this space. I didn't realize it. One of the things the board did is out there in the yard, you'll see we actually have a historical marker out there now, just kind of bringing awareness to this space has importance. But we learned about Black history. Of course, we learned about Booker T. Washington, but not regarding like these type of schools. We learned about Rosenwald, but we didn't learn about him with regards to these two together. We didn't learn that they came together to build these schools like that. Or you may have had it as like a subline to something. It didn't have that significance. It wasn't that important in the whole story that you're learning about Black history. So it was very important for my son to walk in here and understand that these are the small stories that made the big stories. Stories right here. You don't have to go to Atlanta to go to, or DC to the African American museums. You can come right here and learn a lot out around this space. You can read the pictures, you can see these things, and you can feel it in your spirit.
Yes, I grew up here at Cain's Chapel Baptist Church ever since I've been born, sang in the choir, and have always looked over here and admired the school and knew about the school, helped. And when my mom was here and my dad, we would come over here and do different showings of the school and just setting it up and making sure it looks nice for the public to come and see. And yeah, so I've always been instrumental in coming back and helping any way I can, because I know this is very important to keep this legacy going. It's important to me due to the fact that my mom and dad have always been instrumental in letting me know that education is something that's very important. My mom always made sure that we knew that education is something that no one could take from you. The more you learn, the more you yearn for more education. That's something that no one can ever take from you. That's something that's really important. So she drove that into me, and that's why I try to drive that into my children, that education is number one priority. We need to know our history. We need to know where we came from. We need to know that our ancestors and forefathers have fought hard to even learn. And so be grateful that we're at this point now where you can go to school and it's an integrated school system. You have the same opportunities as anybody else. So that's just instrumental in knowing that education is key, and you can do whatever you could be whoever you want to be but education is the primary way to get there, so.
The Russell Rosenwald School is important to me because of the impact of community, family, preservation, and history. They all go hand in hand. So without us being able to tell the story of what has happened in the past, we may not be able to appreciate what we have currently here in the present. It's taken the entire community, church community and surrounding community, to try to keep this church in a pristine condition that it is. We're very proud of the fact that this is the last remaining fully functional, intact Rosenwald School in Durham County. It makes us proud, makes us feel that all the hard work didn't go in vain, and we're definitely committed to continue to see that we can take this all the way through to the best opportunities that lie ahead for the school. Well, we would really like for the community to be able to come out and come and witness this jewel for themselves. I do believe you can still do a virtual tour, but seeing it in person probably is the best thing to allow you to take in all the breathtaking, pristine history that we have here today.
Oh, I would love to see as it continues as of today, to let people know that, you know, it exists, it's historical, it's right here on St. Mary's Road, it was an educational place for the black children, because we have to look back when my mom and was going here, you know, the Jim Crow law was out. And the Jim Crow law stated that, you know, black kids, they really wasn't to have educational, you know, they were really to field work, you know. That's the goal that the Jim Crow law had. So to look to see what Booker T. Washington and Julia Rosenwald did to bring this about, this is awesome, very awesome. So I look to see that that the force, which is a community, a committee that works with this Rosenwald Russell School, that they continue to keep it open so kids can see today how the black kids came up, which privileges that the kids that's in school today did not have. Because like the chalkboard, which I know I'm not supposed to talk about, these kids, these black kids, they got everything hand-me-down. It was nothing never new for these kids to have. So to keep it open, to continue to have the tours that we have, and to let the community know this is a history place that, you know, everyone should really know about. And my daughter, which I don't have grandkids yet, but I'm hoping I will have grandkids one day, that we can bring her kids to learn about this history of the Russell School, and that their grandma came to this school.
What I want people to know, it goes back to 1964, 65, what was it, Plessy versus the Board of Education, the Brown versus, they need to know the history. There's nothing they can do to change those rulings and histories, but this is real life. A lot of people don't, the world is real, and I want the students to realize this, but they can make things better by knowing these things, and that it really existed. A lot of times your young people, they're so much into multimedia and fantasy and all such things as that, but this is the real deal here, and that's what I want them to know. This is real.
Russell School is a landmark, I would say, in our community. Our ancestors did a lot of stuff here, died, so we have a lot of rich history in this school. So that's why it's so important to me. A lot of my relatives went to this school, so that's why it's important to me. Tour schedules online. Tours are free. We do accept donations for tours. We want everybody to come out, take a tour of Russell School.